Hey all, I'm Ernie with my friend Pat, and today we're at Hopkins Landing. We're down at the Hopkins Landing wharf, and today we're going to tell you a really cool ghost story. And this ghost story is about a ghost that haunts the MV Lady Rose, which is a Union Steamship Company ship and vessel that worked on the west coast here for like 70 years, right up to 2012. It's now been purchased by a society, and they want to put it together as a museum and maybe even a moving, like a moving museum in Porpoise Bay. So that's exciting. But today we're going to show you around the Lady Rose, and we're going to tell you about this really cool ghost story about Bobby Travis. Now, the Lady Rose, it was built it was launched in 1937. Came across the North Atlantic through the Panama Canal up the west coast into Vancouver Harbor. It arrived in Vancouver Harbor the same year, but it was July 1937 it rolled into Vancouver Harbor. It was put into service right away for the East Howe Sound Run. And this run went from, it would leave Vancouver Harbor from the wharfs down there, the Union Steamship Company's wharf. It would head up to Britannia Beach, Squamish, McNabb Creek, Port Mellon, Williams Landing, Hopkins Landing, Granthams, and I believe even up to Gibsons as well, possibly a little bit farther up the coast. So this ship, when it got into Vancouver Harbor, and almost immediately was put into this East Howe Sound Run, and it was early into being put into service. It was about this time of year. It was kind of a cloudy day. And the MV Lady Rose left the wharf. It was captained by Jock McCallumson, and the engineer was a fellow by the name of Bobby Travis. And they did their regular routine. They headed up. They did a couple stops before they hit Britannia Beach. So when they got to Britannia Beach, the skipper Jock McCallumson, he gave the signal down to the engine room to stand by. They unloaded the passengers, they unloaded all the supplies for the mine site and the community, and they were about to get underway to head up to Squamish. So the captain, through his telegraph, sent the standby signal down to the engine room, down to Bobby Travis, his engineer, that they were about to disembark. At this time, for some reason, they never signal got back to the wheelhouse to say that he had got his message. The captain tried again to send a signal standby down to the engine room, and again there was no response from Bobby Travis, the engineer. The skipper was wondering what was going on. This was not like Bobby, so he sent down a deckhand, and the deckhand went down into the engine room, and they found Bobby Travis hanging by his neck from some piping and some rope and whatnot. It was claimed that it was suicide, but it had some strange sort of characteristics to it. But ever since that happened, the boat had always carried this ghost story that if anything went wrong, or if a door swung open, or if there was like a bump in a log, that it was Bobby Travis coming up from below to raise hell. And that ghost story carried along the MV Lady Rose, and it's still there. So it's an interesting little ghost story about the Bobby Travis, the engineer of the Lady Rose. So I hope you enjoyed the little ghost story. Let's get out of here.
Hee-haw, hee-haw.